because you're head of the Scottish Council on Global Affairs and you work in a university. Is there much more that we could be doing at every level, preschool, primary, secondary, higher and further education?
Well, for me, I think that the geographic dimension in Scotland is a kind of a particularly challenge, because it's easy to come. I live in Glasgow. It's easy for me to come to Edinburgh to do an event. But what we're going to do in the coming year is we're going to offer communities outside the Central Belt, in the Highlands and in the islands, an opportunity for us to go to them and hold town hall meetings and maybe work with some schools while we're there to talk about issues like, for example, the war in Ukraine, which I think is on a lot of people's minds, and to try and get a conversation going and make some contribution to maybe lifting people's understanding a bit, raising awareness. Another issue we were thinking of focusing on was migration, which is a problem that I think is it's not a problem, it's a challenge that I think that humanity needs to understand better and understand its drivers and its characteristics. Because while there are every year a few million people migrating to different parts of the world, like, for example, Europe or the UK or North America. But the big migration that we've seen is people moving from rural areas to urban areas. And there we're talking hundreds of millions of people every year. And that's a dynamic that is going to create further problems as well. And to understand what's driving it, and to understand what's driving waves of migration caused by climate crisis, by war, to make people understand better that we don't have to listen to what the government tells us and ministers tell us about to F off back to France. That's just so misrepresentative of what's happening. And we have to go out and have conversations, just as we've been hearing, abroad, and not just in lecture theatres and at Glasgow, Cali, or University of Glasgow, but in areas where maybe these town hall conversations would do more good.
Yeah. So we've